Now, he led a section of elders to Deputy President William Ruto's residence, opening a space for political speculation, while another section of Kikuyu Council of Elders disapproved his visit. We speak to the chairman of the patron of the National Council of Elders, Captain Kungu Muigai, who is with me in studio. Captain, good evening. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
On the 1st of July, Captain, you led a delegation of elders who met Deputy President William Ruto at his residence. Perhaps to start off this discussion, is that suggestive of a change in your political point of view?
Well, first of all, you have introduced me correctly. I am the patron of the National Council of Elders. And that was not my first visit to the Deputy President's residence. If you recall, I think 2 years ago, or early last year, I led the National Council of Elders delegate to Deputy President's current home. I also led them to Mheshimiwa Kalonzo's residence. I also went to Mheshimiwa Mudavadi's residence. So this is not the first time.
But Captain, you will understand why this is eliciting political discussion. It is 37 days to the polls.
I'm coming to that one. Let me put it correctly. I led a delegation of Kiambu County elders. And to answer your question straight, these elders wanted to see the Deputy President on one issue, and one issue only. They have seen the altercation between the President and his deputy, and they got worried. They said, take us to the Deputy President. First of all, we want to know what it is that causes this altercation. And secondly, we want to ask him, what will happen to President Kenyatta in case he wins the August polls? So that was basically why we went there.
So this was a request by elders of Kiambu
to meet the
Deputy President.
Yes.
And you took them to Deputy President.
And I took them there.
Fair enough. And why would a section of elders, particularly from Kiambu, led by the county chairman Njoroge Minai, disapprove your visit, saying it was a personal visit to Deputy President?
Well, first of all, let me clarify. My delegation to the Deputy President comprised of 1,200 elders. That's on record. That other, what shall I call it, sprinter group, they called a meeting on the same day to sabotage that meeting. And their meeting was attended by 105 elders only. And I must point out, and I have said this before, I have said it on national TV, that group follows the old officials of this Kiama, the former chairman, Patrick Dongo-Gaithuma, and the previous Secretary General, Patrick Muiro Kamunguna. They forged a certificate. Once they were voted out by the elders, they forged a certificate. And this matter was reported to the CID, to the DCI, who investigated the matter and took a report to the DPP. The DPP ordered for these people to be arrested and prosecuted. Dongo-Gaithuma and Muiro Kamunguna. And this file went back to the DCI, but they were not arrested. So we went to see the DCI, Mr. George Kinoti. And Mr. George Kinoti told us he had received a telephone call from State House instructing him not to prosecute these people. So these people operate with a fake, forged certificate.
But Captain, when they accuse you of court, it is very open that there is a section of the Kiambu men that saw it fit to go to Karen, but it is not from the leadership of Kiambu or Muranga. It is not us who sent the group to Karen.
Who can send 1,200 elders? Who? I've told you I'm the patron. And they came to me. They wanted to meet the Deputy President. That person who is talking like that had a group of 100 people. So how can 100 people allow 1,200 people to go anywhere? And elders are not led. All right? You don't lead elders. Yeah? You guide them. And I have told you the people who lead that group themselves forged. See, I have given you their names. You can follow up with the DPP. They use forged certificate of registration. So I will not sit here and answer them. Because I don't think they are of any consequence. Please save me that.
All right. Captain, as we move from that, one last quote. They say we have agreed that no matter what they take from Karen, they still must come back together. We support Azimio la Umoja. You say you took 1,200 elders to Karen. Was the politics of 2022 or the talk of it discussed in that meeting, Captain?
It was. It was.
And was there an agreement?
This is a political season.
Absolutely.
And as you would expect, there will be divisions. And people cannot all agree. But when we visited the deputy president, that issue definitely came up. And it came up because of the following. Can I go back a little bit about the history between the president and the deputy president? In 2012, when President Kenyatta decided to run for president, of course, you remember there were other people who also wanted to run for president. So he started trying to persuade people to support him. Eugene Wamarwa, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and they all refused. They told him, we are also running. DP Ruto was also running, but he also approached him. And DP Ruto said, let me go and consult my people. Since I support you in 202, they are insisting that you should support me this time round. But after consulting his elders, he came back and said, I will support you. And those elders, we met them. They are called the Miot elders. We met them. And they told us, we will support your son on condition that he will go for 10 years and he will support our son for 10 years. So that was an agreement. And in fact, His Excellency the President announced that in public. Yangu kumi, yako kumi. Have you ever heard that? You have never heard that?
I have.
You are a hypocrite.
Captain, I have, yes. The President is on record saying that.
Is on record saying that. So, the elders, I've told you I'm the patron of the National Council of Elders. So the Miot elders, when the President seemed to renegade on that agreement, the Miot elders, they came to me. They said, Patron, we want to know, is it normal for Kikuyu elder to give a promise, then go back on it? Right? So this was a question I faced. And even when we went to see the Deputy President, the same question came up again. And I asked the elders we were with, what is your opinion? And these elders said that was a promise that must be fulfilled. Otherwise, our community will lose trust. Nobody will ever trust us again with our promises. So I can sit here and tell you, those elders decided yangu kumi, yako kumi is a valid promise which must be fulfilled. I suppose that's what you are looking for.
Is it fair then to conclude, Captain, from your response that the Council of Elders, in particular from the Gikuyu community, is in support of Deputy President William Ruto in the 9th of August polls?
Yes, and they're going to demonstrate that even further. Right? That, I told you that was just the Kiambu delegation. You see other bigger delegations from other areas. But I can promise you, you always have those dissenting voices. They are going to be there. This is politics, and this is time for that. So you hear. But I can tell you, the ones I lead, and I have given you an example. I led 1,200 elders. You can get that record. The other group had 104 elders.
All right.
Right?
All right.
So that will come up.
Captain, you're not just an elder, you're from the family of the current president.
Yes.
Who has pointed to the political direction he will want his political backyard of central Kenya to take, which is the Azimio la Umoja backing of Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. What has changed that you are politically now supporting someone from your family, and in particular the president, is in support of?
Let me say something on the onset. President Uhuru Kenyatta is not running for office. Every time the president has run for office, I've stood with him. And I am sure a lot of people can bear me witness. But this particular time, he's not running for office. And our family is very diverse. Right? We allow people freedom and space to make their own decisions. I wear two hats. When I'm in Ishaweri, I'm sure now Ishaweri is quite famous. When I'm in Ishaweri with my kinsmen, we say what we need to say. When I come out as a patron of the National Council of Elders, I speak on behalf of people. I'm a leader. I cannot bring my family leanings into my leadership. Do you agree with me? Or?
And have you, at any instance, talked to the president of the political direction he would want both the family and the region to follow?
Well, I have expressed myself. He has expressed himself. He has not tried to convince me to do otherwise. Neither have I tried to convince him to do otherwise.
All right, Captain, from that visit, and I'm sure you must be familiar with this by now, there is a viral audio going around which points to the disagreement, disquiet between the president and his deputy. That audio, in part, the deputy president is recorded to have said, and I quote, "I look at him and told him, it's only that I have been respectful, I would have slapped him. How could you just quit?" End of quotes. This is the deputy president, allegedly referring to the president, near slapping him on an occasion. You are among the elders who the deputy president was talking to. Is this, from a first point account, first true?
Well, I have told people that I have had the recording, but I can't recall. I'm not saying he didn't say it, and I'm not even trying to defend it, because first of all, I don't think it's of any issue. It was said in jest, as you have heard. You can hear the people in the background laughing. It was heard in jest. I was there when this thing happened. When that election was nullified, everybody went haywire. You know how much work people had put into this thing. And it just destroyed everybody. Some people didn't even wake up that day. So when the deputy says he went and found the president crestfallen and overwhelmed, I believe him because I know it. And he didn't say he slapped the president. He didn't say he wanted to slap the president. He said,
I would have slapped him. That's what
if I didn't respect you so much. So it was said in jest. And I would like people not to take it. I am his brother. I didn't protest. I didn't think it was said in bad taste.
Captain, you are a man of the military, a man of order.
Yes.
If one is to suggest slapping the commander-in-chief, many will take that as an offensive remarks, isn't it?
Let me tell you. I have seen soldiers telling an officer, "I will shoot you." Okay?
Yes.
He thinks you are giving illegal orders or unnecessary or practical. He will tell you, "Afande, I will shoot you." I mean, this happens, especially people like those who've been working together. I'm sure you've had the deputy president explaining. He was shocked. How can we work so hard? And then you are telling me we give up, that we go home. And then where do we leave our people, our followers? So I was saying that this thing is being overplayed by their competitors, right? By the DP's product. They have now hitched on to that, and the DP is disrespectful. He insulted the president. But I'll remind you, one of them recently called the president mtoto wa mbwa. Yes? I'm sure you have it somewhere here.
Yes.
Mtoto wa mbwa. One of them called the president that. He insulted him and insulted his mother. Nobody talked about it. Those people who are shouting at the top of that, they didn't talk about it. They didn't think it was an insult. But somebody saying, "I thought about slapping the president." Now they think it's something they can turn into campaign slogans. I don't think it's fair. You know, I don't even think it's fair on the man. These are people who have known each other, and I think I would say they are almost age mates. It's not like if he was telling me, I'm their big brother. If they are telling me, then I think it's rude. But these are young people. They can feel like that. And I'm not deterring anybody. Please understand. I'm just saying it should be put into context.
Fair enough. And that context, Captain, as an elder,
yes,
given the latest public spat of the president and his deputy
yes,
talking at each other, using languages that are very public now, is that helpful? How bad can it get, the beef between the two, Captain?
It is very distasteful. Very, very distasteful. As an elder, I condemn it. From both of them, they are behaving badly. They should remember their leaders. They lead this country. When they are doing that, children are watching them. What kind of message are they passing to the youngsters? And it's, again, I would say it's something I'll condemn. And I mean, I will not even, and reservedly I will condemn it. But in our custom, and I suppose even you as and everybody else, they say the big brother should show the little brother the way. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Right? So even if the president is my brother, he looks up to me. I am many years older than him. So he looks up to me and he'll copy what I do. He is much older than Ruto. So he should take the lead to stop this. It should not continue. But if you keep on throwing things at your younger brother, he will throw them back. Isn't that natural? So I'm appealing to both of them, starting with my brother, the president, to please stop that. If they need, you have seen the church saying, we have tried to bring these people together. I have said it before, the elders, we are ready to sit down with them and find out what the problem. What is this that people can't talk about? What is this they did to each other?
And Captain, given that the last you visited was the deputy president, did you at any point as elders inform him of your intention to bring them together?
Oh yes, and it's not the first time. No, we have been pleading. Let us sit down as elders. Come and tell us, what is your differences? What are they?
All right.
We'll sort them out. So it's an open offer. Even this, I'm sure this is another forum where I'm saying it, that even tomorrow, the churches have said it, the elders have said it. So if they don't take that opportunity, I think they're also letting Kenyans down.
Captain, in May of last year, you led elders in the coronation of the National Assembly Speaker, Justin Muturi, as the spokesperson. You were very specific the last time I interviewed you as the spokesperson of the Mount Kenya region.
Yes.
Given that Muturi has joined the Kenya Kwanza alliance of Deputy President William Ruto, how much of that influenced your decision as elders to back the Deputy President?
Well, I told you, I didn't tell you Muturi became a spokesman of the Mount Kenya. I told you Mount Kenya elders, right? Not the general population, the Mount Kenya elders. That is why it was our responsibility to take him to where we took him. You didn't see the other people with us. And I can assure you, those elders, they have so much faith in the speaker that they will go where he will go. And maybe that's why you saw them going to Karen. Because even when they got there, they said the only person who can receive us here is our spokesman, the speaker. And they were very happy to find him there. And he's the one who welcomed them. Even when they went to meet the deputy president, he's the one who presented them to the deputy president. So that's what I was telling you. Once elders have said something, they don't change midway. They stick to it. Yes. And that's the way it should be. Once you have said something, you have uttered something, you stick to it.
You say you stick to it. Stick to it despite going against the political leader of that political backyard, who is President Uhuru Kenyatta?
Let me tell you, I'm talking about eldership. I'm not talking about politics. Politics will end on August 9th. Elders will still be there. In December, elders are going to be there making other decisions. So this is just a small decision which is going to pass, right? And as I told you, you don't lead elders. Elders, they use consensus. You can't tell them, I want you to do this. In fact, that would be a big mistake. You ask elders, what do you want? They discuss among themselves and they come to a consensus. You know, elders don't even hold elections for their leadership. That you can go and lobby, I want to become the chairman. No, it's done. You know the way the Pope does it until the white smoke comes out. Yeah, it's a matter of consultation. Yeah.
Captain, because of the interest of time, perhaps one last question. Given that you say the elders who you are with at the Deputy President's residence have endorsed him in the 9th of August election, is that the direction the elders would want Mount Kenya to take?
Let me tell you. I will not sit here and say that. As I've told you, you don't direct order. I mean, you don't direct elders. Elders, even now, when we left the Deputy President's residence, they told him, we have heard you. We are going to discuss.
So there was no surety of backing him?
They don't do that. Elders don't do that. No. If you hear an elder doing that, it's not a proper elder. I cannot talk for them. I wait for them to come and tell me, but they will do it before the 9th of August. I wish the other contenders would call them, invite them, because they'll still go. They give them their position, they listen. But if they don't get any other invitation, you can rest assured most of them. And you know, people say, oh, they have already gone there, so they have made up their mind. I can tell you, the door is still open. The door is still, but that man has an advantage, as I told you, Justin Muturi is in his camp, and he's the recognized spokesman of the elders of Mount Kenya.
Captain, is it too late to reunite the duo who had so much political bromance, one deputy president and the other President Uhuru Kenyatta? Is it too late?
It's not. It's never too late. It's never too late in the day. In fact, that would be my happiest day. I saw those people when they were friends. I saw them when they had that bromance you are calling bromance. I wish it could come back. It's good for them, it's good for the country, and I must warn them here. If they continue like that, they risk plunging this country into turmoil. Because they are great leaders. Both of them have big following. We don't want this kind of thing. As elders, we detest this kind of thing. So once again, I am saying, please sit down. Between the two of you, I still believe you have enough you can talk about. If you can't pull it through, invite some people, the church, the elders, but it's never too late, and I wish they could do it tomorrow.
And Captain, for purpose of curiosity, you insist that the door is open for any other presidential candidate who will either want to meet the elders or seek their support in the election.
Yes.
If I heard you correctly.
Yes, as long as they are Kenyan, not from Uganda. As long as they are Kenyan, listen, my friend, we are elders. As elders, all those people who are running for office are our children, right? Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, Mheshimiwa Wajakoya, Mheshimiwa Ruto. They are all the children of the elders. You can't shut your children out. So any one of them who wants to meet the elders, just let them know. They will listen to them. They will listen to them.
All right, Captain Kongo Muigai, Patron, National Council of Elders, thank you for your time tonight on TV47. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Captain.
Welcome.
You told me off air that you served in my hometown of Ramu, in Mandera County.
Yes, I was based in Madera. I have served in Garissa. I've served in Wajir. I've served in Madera. So when I was in Madera, that was one of my areas of the patrolling. So I used to patrol those areas. And that time it was not very safe. Yeah, but we survived. And
things have changed now,
Patron. Memories about it. Yeah.
Thank you. While you're watching Kenya's fastest...
And if this girl is not listening, you go back there, you might find some children who looks like
All right,
you.
Captain, you're watching Kenya's fastest growing television. Talk to us. Send us a message on 22047. That was a brief discussion with the patron of the National Council of Elders, Captain Kongo Muigai. We were talking of his visit and the elders' visit to Deputy President William Ruto's residence, and we made sense of that, at least politically, and that visit. Time for us to take a short break. Dennis Otieno is up next with sports news. Stay with us. Remember, after the sports news, Pundits Night, tonight we'll be making sense of the manifesto as well as the race to the 9th of August polls. Stay with us.